The Krillian armada descended upon Earth's outer colonies like a swarm of metallic locusts, their weapons reducing 3 peaceful mining stations to cosmic dust within hours. Commander Elsa Morgenthau stood on the bridge of the UHSF Defiance, her ice-blue eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the aftermath. The death toll scrolled endlessly. 47,000 souls vaporized because they'd refused to surrender humanity's resources. They're broadcasting on all channels, her communications officer reported, his voice tight with barely contained rage. Put it through, Elsa commanded. The image that materialized was of Supreme War Master Vector, his chitinous faceplates gleaming with what the translator interpreted as contempt. Inferior species, he hissed. For 3 centuries you have hidden behind your diplomacy and trade agreements. We see through your weakness. Surrender your worlds or we will take them over your corpses. You have 12 standard hours. The transmission cut off. Silence filled the bridge, the kind of silence that precedes a storm. Lieutenant Farhat Nassim cleared his throat from the tactical station. Commander, the Council is requesting an emergency session. They want to negotiate. Elsa's jaw tightened. She'd served in the Unified Human Space Force for 23 years, rising through ranks during humanity's so-called Golden Age of Peace. The Krillians had studied that peace, mistaken humanity's preference for diplomacy as inability for warfare. They'd forgotten or never learned why humans had established that peace in the first place. Tell the Council, Elsa said slowly, each word deliberate, that humanity stopped negotiating the moment 47,000 of our people became martyrs. Lieutenant Nassim, recall all UHSF vessels, every single one. Farhat's fingers flew across his console, then froze. Commander, that's not just our defense fleet. That's the archaeological ships, the deep space explorers, the hospital vessels, every single one. Elsa turned to face him, and Farhat saw something in her eyes that made him understand why she'd been chosen to lead humanity's flagship. Send a message to High Command with my personal authorization code. Tell them it's time to open the vaults. The bridge crew exchanged glances. The vaults. Everyone had heard rumors, but few believed they truly existed. Ma'am, Farhat ventured, if I may, what exactly are the vaults? Elsa smiled, but there was no warmth in it. 300 years ago, Lieutenant, humanity nearly destroyed itself. World War IV lasted 6 months and killed 2 billion people. We developed weapons so horrific, so absolutely devastating, that when the war ended, our leaders made a choice. They didn't destroy those weapons. They sealed them away and swore humanity would pursue peace so thoroughly that we'd never need them again. She pulled up classified files that painted the bridge displays red with security warnings. Kinetic orbital bombardment systems that can crack continental plates. Nanite swarms that can disassemble matter at the molecular level. Quantum destabilizers that make fusion bombs look like firecrackers. And those are just the conventional nightmares. Farhat felt his blood run cold. Conventional? Before we reached the stars, we turned our own world into a laboratory of horrors. We created things that kept our scientists awake at night, things they begged command never to deploy. Elsa's voice dropped to barely a whisper. The Krillians studied our 3 centuries of peace and thought they knew us. They don't know that peace wasn't weakness, it was mercy. Over the next 8 hours, Farhat watched as humanity transformed. Ships he'd thought were pure research vessels shed their civilian disguises, revealing weapon ports and armor plating. The Defiance herself underwent metamorphosis, her hull segments rearranging into combat configuration that made her look less like an explorer ship and more like a harbinger of extinction. We're receiving reports, Farhat announced, his voice steadier now. The Krillian fleet is advancing. They think we're preparing to evacuate. Let them think that, Elsa replied, for another 4 hours. When the Krillian armada entered the Sol system, they expected to find scattered refugees fleeing humanity's homeworld. Instead, they found a humanity that had shed 3 centuries of carefully maintained civilization and remembered what it truly was. The first indication was the mines, not conventional explosives, but devices that released clouds of self-replicating nanites. Krillian ships began to simply come apart, their hulls dissolving into their component atoms. War Master Vector ordered his fleet forward, confident in superior numbers. Then the Earth's moon opened. Farhat watched his displays with something between awe and horror, as what everyone had thought was a simple research station revealed itself as the Orbital Defense Platform codenamed Tombstone. Weapons that hadn't been fired in 300 years spoke with apocalyptic fury. Krillian dreadnoughts, ships that had conquered 17 species, evaporated under concentrated quantum beam fire. "They're breaking formation," Farrat reported, attempting to retreat. "Negative." Elsa's voice was emotionless now, like an algorithm calculating acceptable losses. "Deploy the interceptors. Nothing leaves this system. Let the galaxy learn what happens when you mistake humanity's mercy for weakness." The battle lasted 3 hours. It would have been shorter, but Elsa wanted to ensure every Krillian ship had time to transmit what they were witnessing back to their empire. She wanted their leaders to see, to understand the magnitude of their miscalculation. When it ended, Farrat stood amid the eerie quiet of the bridge, staring at a tactical display that showed nothing but debris where an armada had been. "Send a message to the Krillian Imperium," Elsa ordered. "Tell them humanity spent 300 years earning the right to be peaceful. Tell them we chose diplomacy not because we couldn't fight, but because we were too good at it. Tell them they have one chance to surrender unconditionally, or we'll show them why 27 alien species call us the Sleeping Death." She turned to face her crew, these young officers who'd grown up knowing only peace. "And someone remind the galaxy we didn't stop being warriors. We just stopped practicing. Consider this our reminder to ourselves of what we're capable of when someone forces our hand." In the depths of space, humanity's message rippled outward, carried by Krillian survivors who'd been deliberately allowed to escape. And the galaxy remembered an old truth, that the most dangerous predator is not the one that hunts constantly, but the one that has learned patience. Humanity had declared peace. The Krillians had declared war. They should have left well enough alone.